Friends, I needn't tell you that the latest craze affecting these United States of America is that of the fallout shelter, perhaps the only line of defense between your family and total nuclear annihilation. There's plenty of options on the table and plenty of companies that are offering you protection. But we here at Automatic Games think that it would be wise for you to explore all of your options. To do just that, we're going to turn it over to our friend Miles Upshur from WFUQ News to have a look at just one of those options. Now let's talk about your life and the life of your family. Our top scientists and government agencies concerned with home defense state flatly that shelter is our best defense against radioactive fallout. These are the facts. Number 1. In a nuclear war, radioactive fallout would threaten more people than either blast or heat. Number 2. Inexpensive home shelters offer the best protection between you and the radiation. Very simply, a fallout shelter could save your life in a nuclear war. This is the reason that the Office of Civil Defense and Mobilization strongly urges that every family build a shelter in its home. They've developed reasonable shelter plans to suit nearly every home, every budget. Mr. Richard Head of the Office of Civil Defense and Mobilization is here on site to talk about such shelters for your homes. Now, Richard, I understand that your office has been hard at work. They're designing and developing these shelters. Now, tell me, are they similarly priced?
No, they vary in cost. Some are as low as $100, and others may cost as much as $2,500.
Do the big Vault-Tec shelters provide more protection?
Not necessarily. Some cost more because they're bigger or fancier or harder to build. The degree of protection depends on the shielding, but all of our shelters provide adequate shielding to protect against death and sickness.
Now, when you talk about shielding, what exactly are you talking about? Is it made of a particular substance that is unattainable?
Concrete, bricks, earth, or sand are some of the cheaper materials, dense enough to give ample protection without taking up too much room. There's about the same amount of shielding effect in 8 inches of concrete as in 12 inches of earth, or 16 inches of books, or 30 inches of wood.
I see.
This is our most popular shelter, a real do-it-yourself kind. It was developed because of its low cost, usually less than $200 for materials, and because of its adaptability to most basements. It can be built bigger or smaller.
That's awfully small. It's just a model, right?
Well, this shelter gives excellent protection. It reduces the radiation to a small fraction of that outside, enough to save your life.
Wow.
This is an above-ground double-wall shelter.
We have settlement builders watching. Could they build this themselves?
I wouldn't advise it unless you're a particularly talented handyman. We recommend this design, especially in areas where water or rock is close to the surface. This is a good shelter anywhere in the country where it's impractical to build an underground shelter. Notice the 2 walls of concrete blocks
I see.
are built apart, actually at least 20 inches, and the space between is filled with sand or gravel. The roof could be either concrete covered with gravel or heavy wooden beams.
Now, how much would this shit set us back, Dick?
The material would cost around $700. Contractors' costs vary in different parts of the country.
Fact.
Now, this next model, the underground concrete shelter, can be built by a contractor for about $1,000 to $1,500. This type of shelter gives almost total protection from radiation. As you can see by these models, each shelter is a closed unit. Your shelter must be enclosed from all directions because the radiation can come at you from all sides.
Sure.
We also recommend that all shelters have a right-angled entrance, since radiation tends to travel in straight lines. This kind of entrance cuts the danger.
Do all of your shelter things offer the same degree of protection?
Well, not the same protection, but they all give adequate protection.
Good.
So do other designs that meet OCDM specifications. Let me demonstrate.
Oh, okay, a demonstration.
This is a radioactive solution.
Fuck
Not
me.
enough to harm us, though.
Oh, good.
Now watch as I place a few drops on this tissue placed on top of the shelter.
Take it easy now.
Now listen as I monitor with this Geiger counter.
Ooh, a Geiger counter.
See, the clicking
Yeah.
indicates extensive
Yeah.
radiation. Now listen as I put the monitor inside the shelter.
Ooh.
No clicking, no radiation. The point to remember about radiation is this. The more of any kind of shielding, the better the protection.
Are blueprints available for public digestion, Doctor?
Yes, the plans are all included in this booklet, Family Fallout Shelter.
Oh, fun.
A free copy is available to anyone, either through their local civil defense office or by writing Post Office Box, Home Shelter, Battle Creek, Michigan.
Outstanding. Thank you for that fantastic demonstration and for that heads up, Dr. Head. Albeit with models. Well, you've learned the facts. You've learned where to get the necessary information from Dr. Head. Now it's up to you. and every one of you to do what you can to defend your family from that moment when the Chinese decide to kill us all. Just remember, while fallout shelters are readily available, the accoutrements and knickknacks that one would desire while within are not. They are only available through the Automatic Company out of Columbus, Ohio. So, when you do decide to go underground, take with you those toys to pleasure the children and appliances to distract the wife. This has been Miles Upshore with WFUQ News, now returning you to your regularly... to your... Can we do that again?
Nope.
We can't, seriously?
No.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
To your regularly scheduled programming.